Hi friends, it's Mr. Zarzak, and I'm going to take you through how to import and manipulate the sample data for the Newton's third law lab. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is to get access to the app. All right, and so what you're going to want to do is get into the Glenbard hub, which is pre-installed on your iPad. So from your home screen, just swipe down to bring up your search and type in HUB. Okay, and you'll see that the app is just called Hub. It looks blue and white, so just tap on it. Okay, that's going to take you to the Glenbard hub, which is our version of the app catalog. So go ahead and let it load up. Will be kind of slow sometimes. All right, there is a search feature, but of course it's hidden because why would you want a search feature to be obvious? So if you just take a single finger swipe down, okay, you'll see that a search bar appears up at the top of the screen. So if you just tap on that and if you type the word Vernier, V-E-R-N-I-E-R, okay, Vernier is the company that makes all of our probeware and the apps that go with it. Okay, on mine it's the third one down from the list. It's this Vernier Graphical Analysis GW. It's got the diagonal green stripe. As much as I wish that stood for Glenbard West, it stands for Go Wireless, so it allows you to get wireless data. I've already got it installed, so there's no need for me to reinstall it. So go ahead and install that on your iPad. Okay, there might be a little delay before it begins to install. That's normal, that's just part of the hub, so you need to have a little patience. Okay, once it's installed, you can open it straight from here, or to find it, I just type graph, okay, it'll pop up. And again, it's the one with the little diagonal green line with the GW in it that you want. Okay, so you need to have it open first. That's the first step, is make sure the app is open. Okay, that's going to get the app up on your list of possible apps to send data to. You'll see what I mean here in a second. All right, then jump over to Schoology. Okay, and navigate to your physics class. All right, so I'm just going to pick one of my courses. All right, and I'm going to find the Unit 3 Newton folder. And there I've got this stored under Student Handouts. Okay, your teacher might have it somewhere different, but what you are looking for is a file that's called Newton's Third Law Sample Data.cmbl. So if you tap on that, .cmbl is the native file format for the app, so Schoology is not going to know how to open it, which is why you get this error message, which is totally fine. Instead, just tap on that little button in the upper right-hand corner, okay, to send that data to a different app, okay, and then hopefully this graphical analysis is up on your list, so just tap on that. Okay, and it's taken and it's loaded up the data. Now, what this really is, if I tap up here and go down to table, okay, this is data of pulling and pushing on two different spring scales. So there's just tons and tons of data. Okay, too much for us to look at numerically, so we said we look at it graphically. So I'm going to go back to that single graph, which looks like this. If you look at the vertical axis, you see force 1 in newtons, comma force 2 in newtons, so both forces are plotted. If you tap on that green text that says force 1 newton, comma force 2 newtons, okay, you'll see that it brings up this menu here, and you can actually toggle on the forces, which I think is kind of nice because if I toggle them on and off, then they change colors. Okay, if I just want to look at force 1 really quick, okay, I'm going to tap out of the box. Okay, and what this shows is pushing and pulling on a spring scale. Notice that there's both positive and negative values because force is a vector, so direction makes a difference. If I tap on that green force 1 and N to bring that menu back up, I can put on force 2 and I can look at that individually. All right, but I want to look at these both simultaneously. Okay, so this is the data for part 1 of the lab that you're going to look at and interpret. All right, when you get to part 2 of the lab, it's going to ask you to change what you're looking at so that you can get an equation of a line. So what you need to do, all right, is you tap on that vertical axis again, and you're going to plot force 1 versus force 2. So go ahead and turn off force 2, and then tap out. And then down on the horizontal axis where it says time in seconds, tap that green text down there. Okay, and what we're going to do instead of plotting force 1 versus time, we're going to plot force 1 versus force 2. Okay, and so now your data is going to look very different. All right, force 1 versus force 2. Okay, now in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see that there's this little green kind of graph button. Okay, with some different options. All right. If I tap anywhere on the graph, I evaluate single points. All right, but what I want to do is I'm going to find the slope of this line. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch with my finger, I'm going to drag across it. Now when I do, look at that little box in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to take my finger off now. And you see how it's turned from white background to blue. Okay, that just means that you are now in a position to apply a curve fit for the data that's selected. So if I tap on there, okay, third one down the list, it says apply curve fit, so I'm going to tap on that. Okay, and notice that when I do this, okay, well now I have this box over here that says linear, that is information about my slope and my intercept. All right, so you're going to need that information from your data. All right, so that's the basics of how you get and then manipulate the data for the Newton's third law lab. Thanks for watching.